birth?
4 generations of women.
Bob. Bob, I was talking to Bert.
I don't know, but the architect was the deputy style. They've been inside with his life.
And I would like to welcome everyone to the reopening of our beloved Flower Bridge. So there have been ceremonies here before. The last major ceremony, I believe it was in 2021 when the park reopened after all the park was completed. And I want to thank our past first select men and women for making that happen. So just thank you to them. I also want to recognize everybody that's here tonight, although there's way too many people to recognize. I do want to call out, first of all, our Board of Selectmen members that are here. Deputy First Selectman Steve Antonio. Yeah, Diana Yeisley and Heather Getz and Curtis Looney. We have our state senator, Paul Honig. And our state representative, Melissa Osborne. We have a ton of staff here to thank, and I will try to just call out a few people. We have our town manager, Mark Nelson. We don't have to clap for everyone. A management specialist, Franklin Baruco. Tom Roy, Public Works Director and Town Engineer. Adam Kessler's back there. Dan Gagnon's back there. I saw Tom Taberski somewhere.
Tom and Adam.
Are we going to do cheers here tonight? Okay. Also, a great big thank you to the Board of Finance members that helped make this happen. And also, of course, the Old Drake Hill Flower Bridge Committee. I just want to say there have been, many events at this park. There's sorry for the people who got married in 23-24 because they weren't able to have their wedding here. We've been here for many duck races, and there was a great moment when the Board of Selectmen won the race in 2023. We've been here for a number of burgers on the bridge, but it's just a great gathering place for everyone in the community, and we're just thrilled to have this open. I do want to just talk a little bit about how we were able to fund this, and I have to give thanks to the Biden administration coming out of COVID, the COVID pandemic. They created the American Rescue Plan Act, and Simsbury was the lucky recipient of 2 tranches of $3.5 million each year. And with that money, we were able to fund the renovations for this project without really impacting taxpayer dollars. The reason that the board was able to make those decisions was because the federal funds were there to get people back out and about and to increase tourism. And this just seemed like a perfect fit to get that, use that money for those intentions. So I'm really excited about it. I also want to thank the people of Simsbury, the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance who approved the funding, and also the fact that this went to referendum and was passed and everybody in the community came out and voted for it. So I want to give you all a big hand because you made this happen. I will say at one of the public hearings, some of the options from a few people was to tear it down. And this is why, as elected officials in community, we really need to stand up and do what is right for the whole community. And that's why this bridge is still here. And that's why this bridge has been redone and is ready to go for the next wedding to come along. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to switch up the run of show a little bit here because I want to turn this over. Did I thank everybody I was supposed to?
Thank everybody.
Okay. I'm going to turn this over to Tom Roy. He kind of led the way on this project, and I want him to be able to say a few words, and then he'll take over the show. So Tom, come on up.
Technical things are going on.
Well, thank you everybody for coming out today. This is a really special project, and I think it really highlights what makes Simsbury so special. Back when the new Drake Hill Bridge was built, the bridge behind me was slated to be torn down, and it was the residents of Simsbury who said, we can do better than that. And you took this old bridge from the 1800s and made it into a special place, a place where we have beautiful flowers, we have wedding photos, prom photos. I've heard about some even staff members who may have jumped off the bridge when they were youngsters. It's not allowed. It meant a lot to me from an engineering standpoint to be able to work on a bridge. I started my career working on bridges before coming to Simsbury. It was a very interesting project technically. It's a bridge from the 1800s, which is as good today as the day it was built. It is the right color. I know there was a lot of concern about that someday in April. It is correct. It is federal green. I want to thank the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance and the town for supporting this project. It was certainly a project which it's a big number, but it really does mean a lot to the community. On our side, our team, the day-to-day operation of this was Adam Kessler and Dan Gannon. They worked tirelessly on this bridge. We have representatives from our engineering consultant, Silva Associates, that were here. They made sure everything was going to go smoothly. As you go through, an old house renovation is no different than a bridge renovation. You uncover things, you find things. And they made sure everything we uncovered was fixed and made so it's as strong as the day that it was first built. So I think just as much as we have a strong bridge and a reliant bridge, I think it says a lot about the strong community we have. And I think it's a great symbol for what we have here in Simsbury. So thank you. And I want to turn this over to Jan Littner because, before I did almost forget to tell you, Jan Littner was right there in the engineering process. Each and every day, she was looking through the plans. Poor Jay Silva was scared to death of Jan. She's asking questions about technical specifications. I think she's probably doing an engineering degree. We might have one made up for you by the time this is over. So Jan, why don't you come on up and tell us your version of this great project?
I have a similar theme, I think. This bridge does that. Thank you. But this day is a time to celebrate and to say thank you for those who had the vision to begin the old Drake Hill Flower Bridge by adding 4 boxes on an old metal truss, 1-lane bridge. It's a time today to applaud the citizens of Simsbury. As Wendy said, the citizens who voted yes at our referendums to rehabilitate and repaint this flower bridge. And it's also a time to salute the selectmen, our town administrators, and town staff for providing support, direction, and an excellent, I have to tell you, team project who came together and allowed the bridge to be part of the process and part of the project. And all of that together, the old adage, it takes a village to make a bridge flower. So those 4 boxes have now turned into 118 subscriber units. There are boxes, hanging baskets, and border columns in the gardens. Of all of that, this year we have a new computer program, so we know how, when we're ordering the flowers and doing the design for that. And so this year, we put all of those units, took 1,200 blooming plants. And those plants are taken care of, planted, designed, and cultivated by the committee, all who are in the yellow t-shirts. And today's a day to say thank you to all of them for their dedication, their enthusiasm, and I have to say for their really hard work. Yeah, thank you. And I will say to everybody, the town citizens, the administration, it is a village who came together and worked to make this rehabilitation work. So thank you to everybody who's participated to ensure that this bridge is going to last another 130 years, and that even though this bridge spans the Farmington River, it also spans for us our past and our future generations. Thank you all.
We're gonna let our town manager say a few words.
Oh, no.
So, Mark Nelson, here's Mark Nelson.
Thanks, everybody. It's your day, and I'm just really privileged to be here. I've been in public service for too many decades, but I can really only count on maybe two hands the completion of projects where I look around the audience and see so many smiles and so many happy faces. And it was a real privilege for me as your town manager to work with an incredible staff of employees, all our volunteers and the committee. And I just echo what our first selectman said, to thank all of those electeds that supported this. Not easy decisions are made come budget time every year. And thank you again to everybody who voted for it at referendum. I know long after I leave the employee of the town of Simsbury, I'll be back walking on this bridge, and you've given me something to be proud of that I can say I had a very small part of in my career. So thank you very much.
I want to step in. I have one more, because now's the opportunity. Those of you who have the yellow T-shirts, after everything, go into the park and we'll take a group picture. These are our new T-shirts, by the way.
And Franklin from my office printed out the little card. Some of you are waving them around, but if you haven't got one yet, they're just a little memento for you to keep to remember this day. So thanks very much, Franklin.
Tom, you want to anyway, so with that, I'd like to invite everybody. I didn't make any of the food that's here, or nor did I buy it, but there's some really good. Oh, yeah, where's the ribbon?
Right behind you.
Where's the scissors? Well, shouldn't the flower bridge come on up here to cut the ribbon? The yellow T-shirts? Jan's cutting the ribbon. I'm not cutting the ribbon.
Everybody behind, everybody around her.
Okay. That was a. Thank you for screaming all that out.
Is there an engineer in the house?
Several. Okay, you're good to go.
Okay.
There we go. Now make much better photos.
No corners so we don't go again. We don't roll. There we go.
That's why you get the big bucks, right?
Say 3, 2, 1, cut! Now everybody can go over their snacks. Right? How are you? Good. Thank you. I got you guys too.
If you did not get a card, come see me. Limited quantity, please, orderly fashion.
Great.